Hello and welcome. This is the Daily Dharma. My name is Dina. Thank you so much for joining. This is going to be a bit of a different reading. I started recording and I had a call from my daughter's school, so I was interrupted and I don't edit my videos. So let's go ahead and restart. We do have quite a few cards out to start our reading. We started with 2 cards from the Animal Totem deck. And since you are all just joining in, let's take a few moments settling the energies, especially those that I've just been through, and synchronize our energies for a good reading for you today, providing wisdom for whatever you're dealing with. So the 2 cards that came out underneath the deck in the Animal Totem, we have Humpback Whale, Singer, this watery realm, talking about sing healing songs for the world. Your inner navigation always guides you. Nothing can stop you or keep you from your goal. Align with your purpose and the power in your soul. So there's some kind of soul guidance coming through, quite possibly an emotional upheaval in alignment with something that you're very passionate about that's helping you to present yourself or utilize some platform that you have to speak your message or align with your calling in some way, in a way that's not necessarily provocative or in the way of provoking, not the objectified version of that, but there's a way that you're able to use your message to present a loving, accepting viewpoint here instead of something that's going to create division or conflict. You're using your emotional sense. And in the pre-shuffle, let me remember what I've repeated and not. We did have a few cards from various decks. From the Return to Spirit deck, we did have Self-Worth coming out with something else here. And in the Code card deck, we had Heart Chakra, which did come out in the reading afterwards. Divine Feminine, which showed itself in the reading right away. And let's just continue to get into the cards. But it seems that with those energies, it's a heart-based, soul-based alignment happening within you, where then you're getting more and more compelled to speak something, to manifest, or to express your own values and views or your own vision. Coming through, the one that came out was Giraffe, Visionary. Rise above earthly matters. Glide through life with grace. You're able to see the right path. Stand tall in your self-worth and love with a big heart. So some of those are definitely repeats, as you can see. You're able to move away from divisive measures or conflict energy or scarcity energy. You're no longer giving energy to distraction, detractors, or hater energy. You're moving forward and you're putting your energy behind the potentials, what you envision. You're giving your energy to what holds some type of value and personal alignment for you. And so if you are being able to see things from a different perspective, you're able to be more opportunistic, it was coming through as, and able to see things in the flow state, in the moment, and witnessing which things are aligned with your path, with your heart-based truth, and to stand tall in your truth in that way, to no longer be complicit or allow things that have been kind of operating below the surface to have any credence over your own personal truth and your ability to stand firmly in that truth and to stand up for what you feel is right and true. Compassionately, with harm to none. So out of the code cards, the ones that first popped out, interestingly enough, is the Divine Feminine sandwiched between the sacral chakra, the water chakra, and crown chakra, which I forgot to see which element that is. I was thinking it was ether, but give me just a moment. I'm going to confirm and be right back. Beautiful. I'm glad that I brought this out. So, yes, ether is indeed the throat chakra. And then moving up to the third eye is actually the governed by light frequency. And then the crown chakra is actually governed by thought frequency. So, we're getting more and more into the transpersonal, transdimensional astral realms the further up the ladder we go, so to speak. So, you can see how certain individuals are stuck in their thoughts, stuck in their mind, where the logic and the heart aren't as well integrated. We've got integration out on the deck already as well. So one of the trends that was coming through is then how we bring the sense of belonging, the sense of belonging to tribe, being valued, being worthy for individual niche type contributions versus group identification and so on. Getting more into the heart is more specific. The heart is actually the realms of air, and so it's very logical. So we're talking quite a bit about elementals. I wonder if we'll have some of that coming out. But whenever we talk about elementals, we're talking about shaping our reality, our literal material world by virtue of the way that we utilize and plug those elementals into our own energy and into the world that we're connecting with. So here I have this hierarchy of human needs here, and then the chakra systems right here. And I love to correlate the two here. Check that out on your own. But what I see under the crown chakra here is it governs things such as our inner wisdom. So taking knowledge and thought and transforming it into understanding, comprehension, and so on. And the value of that, the validity of everything that we are able to sense in that way is the way that we connect the dots in the data. So it can also govern things like our enlightenment process, our connection to our spirituality, our thoughts and belief structures, and so on. Let's not get too into this. If it comes back up. Oh, one other thing too. So it is also known to govern things like the circadian rhythms, our ability to be fully awake and alert versus our ability to have full rest cycles, REM cycles. And in that way, it also governs things such as the deep states that we can reach through any type of vision questing, any type of meditative practice, or anything that gets us into the zone. And when we're in our calling, when we're aligned with our purpose, when we're having those emotional influx situations, when we ride that wave instead of being kind of capsized and devoured by that wave with fear frequency, when we can ride the wave of love and trust and faith, then we actually get into those higher realms of enlightened spirituality, and feeling our ability to impact and influence outcomes by virtue of harnessing those things, those thoughts primarily. Everything also, we kept having dynamic under the deck. It was talking about how everything is a light frequency, everything is waveform in formation. And so these are the data points. It's all of the light that we're integrating through the crown chakra and integrating throughout the systems. So let's keep revealing the cards. Next, we had 15, compassion. And when that came out, we were talking about how I believe that this sacral into the crown is the integration point of the feminine influx of potential and implications and pure potentiality into the choice points of the masculine with the crown chakra, where it hits our beliefs and our values and becomes, what do we do with that knowledge? That's where the compassion is triggering us to take new action here, perhaps from an empowered, informed standpoint. So the next series of cards, we first had heart chakra, then we had empowered integration coming up next, which seems like a very personally empowering integration of all of these codes and waveforms into a heart-based truth and reality, a compassionate mindset and approach, and speaking with grace, compassion, and inclusion in some type of a way here, where we're not being polarizing and combative with our thoughts, but trying to be harmonious with everything around us, being able to utilize everything that is already in existence to flow with that and to complement and help uplift and shift energies, to show others the waveforms that are showing themselves to us from this higher vantage point outside of the distractions or ego wars of the human dimension, without the dissociative issues of heart and mind incongruence. It's like once you've reached that point of interconnection and integration, you are so empowered in your vibrational resonance that your heart is informing the mind instead of the mind informing the heart. And so from that higher vantage point, you're able to really see these waveforms in formation, and you're able to kind of make those prophetic assumptions, but some of those will be still entangled with cooperative and non-cooperative narratives that are all stitching and weaving together at all times. So next we have a change coming in the Merkaba, and this is an expansive heart-based change. And under the deck, then we had miracle showing itself. Let's see what else. Belief in solar plexus, the confident and creative use of our belief to create miracles, perhaps. Oh, I wonder if I thought maybe it would be divine masculine. Then we have tantric journey and passion. So absolutely. And if you've been watching a while, you know I love it when passion and compassion come together, because that's what it is when the solar plexus integrates and fully connects and commingles with the, masculine, feminine energies come together in that tantric union. Creative change. So frequency shift was the first one out of the Return to Spirit deck. No shock. I think that this is creating a big change in your energy. Maybe we don't need too many of these. Frequency shift, it looks like you're really entering into a highly informed unity consciousness, connecting with ancestral and otherwise divine influences, other visionary ideals to create unity consciousness ultimately. Innocence. I think that this is a return to innocence, a return to spontaneous, heart-based, fearless self-expression for some of you. And for others, it's utilizing energies that again, with the not being polarized or combative, it's utilizing your knowledge and wisdom of how to create connection and love amongst your friends, family, colleagues, and otherwise informed and otherwise feeling and thinking individuals, to create unity amongst the chaos and amongst the various diverse opinions and placements and different frequencies. I think that you're trying very successfully to promote interconnectivity instead of more division. Assistance. That's beautiful. You're getting some assistance from beyond the veil with new insights, new feeling states, new connection to your passion. And it's like divine intervention. So some opportunities are coming your way to influence or connect or lead new groups in some ways, or to be a thought leader amongst a group that you belong to in some way. Celestial. I absolutely love that. This is this is more like a soul reclamation card for me, the soul retrieval card, getting that Akashic wisdom, connecting across the veil, across timelines, and so on, to connect to all elementals, all that has ever been known or to be known, beginning to kind of tap into that as a resource and empowering your energy, because you've risen above some limiting force here. You're able to see the information as it's moving. And since you have the eyes to see, you're being given the assistance to shift the frequency of other individuals. So it's a very powerful and responsible task. Power, incredible. Right, that's what we're talking about. Reclaiming all of your power. And there we have music. Beautiful. We started out with singer and we end here with music. So music is your capacity to create miracles in your world. I don't know if this is you singing your praises, singing other people, creating your own music, sharing musical pieces from other people, or just getting into a meditative space instead of a combative space yourself, because as you know, those algorithms and the power of media and the phones and social chaos, is there's no end to that. And music is very healing. I have quite a spill that happened here. We've got dragon spirit. That's beautiful too. That this year has been the year of the dragon. And I think that you have been imbued with a lot of power to create this healing shift, this connection of heart and mind. And what do we have here? No kidding. Music reminds me on this big pile. Music reminds other people, it reminds you of the harmonious accord in how, there's good music and bad music. Nobody likes to listen to bad music. And if you don't want people to tune you out on their frequency dial, it's important, if you want your message to be listened to reach out with non-divisive measures. Otherwise, the people that you want to reach won't listen. Music reminds me, copycat. Anything you can do, I can do better. Follower energy. So you've got some type of social platform. And if you attack or diminish the group mentality and identity of others, they will mirror that back to you. But if you're out there saying, you respect others' rights for this and that, chances are that you won't as quickly and often get the individuals that are going to jump down your throat and show their ass, because they're going to want to match your energy. And so it's that whole thing about vinegar versus honey. Yeah, there's a lot of tension in your situations. Everyone has their senses peaked. Everybody's wound up, and everybody has their own thoughts about it with crown chakra, their own understandings. Leo, everybody wants to be seen and heard. Everybody's using their energy to self-express in some type of a way. We need to honor that if that's what we want. And it looks like you are, because we're doubling down with that unity consciousness here with the earth, soul, star chakra. Well, earth, star chakra, the soul stars on the cosmic end, beyond the crown, beyond the root. When we're connected in the proper way, we're connected to the elementals again, and Mother Earth, Father Sky. We understand that we're all on the same rock hurtling through the cosmos. I mean, if you can agree with that, some people don't, and that's your prerogative. But there's something here, you already know something, and you need to trust your gut instincts to bring that forward, and trust that you already know how to convey your message, to be sensitive and loving. Here we have, I want to marry you, which seems ill-placed in this situation. So it could mean a number of things. You'll probably know personally what that means. It could be somebody has great respect for you. It can be that other people want to align with your ideology, and so they want to commit to your platform type of a thing. But with marry you, it's like soul contract type energy. We do have I, J, K, and L for the initials. Third eye chakra. I think here we're talking about people breaking through any type of fearful narratives or preconceived notions or gaslighting, manipulation, and so on. So we're being reminded to help our own selves to cleanse and clear that energy before we go out and make our own statements or our own rationales with other individuals. And here we go back to astral travel. And I wanted to just, with third eye and astral coming out together here, again, hair, nervous system, and circadian rhythms, that becomes more and more important because our thoughts, our beingness, and our belief patterns govern how we're able to come through. That governs our limitations on our capacity to conjure and to manifest. And so with this astral travel card, right with that third eye chakra, it's like as we cleanse and clear, that's where our faulty belief structures around our self-worth and our belongingness and our deservingness kind of stem, is suppression, oppression versus community and connectivity and unconditional love and healing, acceptance and tolerance. So the astral travel here, oh, and it's right over change of Merkaba. I think that you're traveling to some new dimensions, either quite literally on purpose or in your dream state, meditation state, or so on, or just your mediumship capacity, your ability to evoke response in others, to influence other people, and to help them to shift their frequency up is coming forward for you. You may be in some inner conflict here based on some type of past life influences, or from your early childhood, past life, past self. Around that third eye chakra, the manipulation and family dynamics, toxic hierarchical ideas, scarcity mentality, whatever it is, poverty consciousness, you're overcoming that through this ability to integrate these healing, frequency shifting envisionings that you're having to shift and expand your ability. And music is an underutilized tool for sure. I love you is coming forward. You have a lot of people reaching backward to you after this expression with love, with acceptance, with tolerance. Then we have I love to cuddle and kiss, water again. How long has it been since you've been able to gain that sense of the Divine Mother, the being held so securely in the unconditional embrace of love? Have you ever? Opening up, revelation, emergence. There is a need to connect with other individuals. And some of us, even like, let's say my daughter right now, she's suffering from a mild case of teenager. And so she doesn't, at this point, necessarily cuddle as much as I think and know that she requires. And that's for her to choose to a certain extent. But I think that we need to address that in our own lives as well. For many people, if your life warrants, getting a pet can absolutely expand your heart chakra, or even a plant. Seriously. It says keep it simple. That's the last card here. Getting something like a plant can be a very good way for ourselves to connect with self-care and nurturance. The plant will show signs of suffering when we give it too much love or not enough love, or too much water, not enough, and so on. And it needs the proper environment. And our willingness and ability to take care of those plants is somewhat synonymous with the way that we do or don't take care of ourselves. And so being able to witness our environment in that way, I feel triggered. There's some self-protection and old trauma here that wants to be addressed. And so somehow keeping it simple here can help you to move beyond old situations and dynamics. Like if you're feeling triggered because you have a hater that comes up, sometimes it's important, if that's your thing, to get back into yourself and be like, I understand that that hater has a loud voice, but I also understand that there are 200 people possibly in my immediate environment and so on that would never say or feel or think ill about other people in that nasty way. And so don't let the bullies get you down. Here we have Gemini, Castor Pollux twins, the mirroring. There's something here definitely about that copycat mirroring energy, and that we are witnessing that we will continue to receive what we put out. And so if we're getting a lot of conflict energy, it can absolutely mirror an inner conflict that we're having going on, this inner dialogue that says, well, maybe I'm not okay if I am not this way or that way. To the extent that we still question ourselves, others will keep questioning us so that we can continue to say, that's not right. That doesn't seem real. I believe in the power of what comes to me and through me. We are triggered so that we can make that choice, so that we can follow the split decision of where do we personally align. And friction is part of the gig. The yin and the yang, the two sides of the coin, the two wings of one bird. That's really the Gemini energy right here, the cognitive dissonance between thought and feeling, between intuition and logic, between the 0 and the 1. And it is somewhat divine. There are a lot of material concerns, scarcity, limits, blockage, superficiality, and trophy type egoic thinking and thought patterns happening right now. And it looks like you're going deeper. And so then you have 6666, which to me today is giving me the dual message that fear or love, do we see that as a rebalancing? Do we see it as addiction? Do we see it as the number of the beast, so to speak? Then we have legalities, 3D contracts, disputes, escalation. And for some of us, we are definitely looking and watching with bated breath all of the things happening at this time in the world, on the world stage and platforms. And I would say that something as so-called simple as the right to vote is also us signing on the dotted line for our soul contracts. And I don't mean to sound overly dramatic. I absolutely do believe this, that on some level that we are authorizing individuals to behave and to believe on our behalf. And so we need to be very, very wise and clear and simple about the choices that we're making and authorizing on our behalf. And I think that it's a critical time for many of us. Now we have the initials Q, R, S, and T with karmic cycle. Overthinking, stress, and nerves. You might be really worried about something coming up. 7777 is my card of divine intervention. There are low vibe entities and lower attachments here making power plays. But you're on fire. You are really hot right now. You're passionate. You're assertive. You're courageous. There's a mask and a front that you've been maintaining, but I think that it's melting. Frenemies are perhaps being revealed. And there may be people that are out there looking at your platform, looking at your pictures while you're having this glow up, being hot and passionate. And somebody is really possibly even falling for you, even if it's like friends just being like in that respect zone of, man, that one, they're like just on fire right now. I wish I could speak so eloquently and so carefully, or something such as that, right? So this glow up energy is helping you to create momentum and take assertive action in some way for your freedom. and for the freedom of those that you care about. You're speaking up and using your thought to be the inner magician and alchemist of your experience here with Mercury. Building bridges with that unity consciousness, being real careful not to polarize, and hopefully appealing to some common goals. Workaholic, trying to reach people where they are. I think you need to be aware not to overdo it or make this into too much of a job. 5555, something is changing big time. And then we have Cancer, this huge feeling energy, chain breaker, pattern interrupt. I think I'll stop there. I think that you are the chain breaker and the pattern interrupt in your life right now. Let's see if we can get you a closing oracle card from the Whispers of the Ocean Oracle deck. I hope that you guys are all doing pretty good, not letting the critical state of matters get you too aggravated. The best way to make a good, positive impact is to stay in your peace and to trust the process. I don't want to take all of those, but we'll look at them. Shared inspiration, number 20, instead of judgment, perhaps. Throw yourself into a new project. Be willing to let go of time constraints and rules, and really be aware of whatever fulfills your heart. Absolutely. Like, talk about the reasons why you are for something instead of demonizing the reasons that others hold. Might be better. Empower yourself, 29. Beautiful, because we have that power and we have that platform, we have that voice, and the heart is bubbling up. You really want to speak. Tune into your personal power. You're more than able to handle the situation facing you now. Allow yourself to be the strong, beautiful person that you are capable of being. We also have Dancing in the Rainbow, beautiful dolphin there. You're where you need to be. Trust the process. Trust your voice. Trust that everything is working out behind the scenes. See both sides. Probably those thoughts or lower vibe entities, they probably have their own reasons for doing what they do. And instead of demonizing, if we can appeal to people's heart space, it'll be better. Inner desires. Seek questions and answers and information. Set some intentions. You're entering a phase of plenty, especially with Miracle on the deck, don't forget. You may have a sudden windfall. Goals are within your grasp. Yeah, if you flow with it, those invitations and opportunities will present. And lastly, we have gentle moderation. So keep yourself, again, real balanced. Don't work too hard, but throw yourself into that project when it feels good, move forward. And when you feel the pinch, settle down, relax, and integrate. So yeah, take good care of yourselves at this time, everybody. I hope that that was helpful, and check back for more information or other readings as you wish. And we'll see you again real soon. Thanks.